Hi guys, it's Tracy again here at Red Wind Studio, and I am back at it working on one of my side tables. And as a recap, because this is sort of a continuation as you watch me work on this, so far I have painted the top in a custom color. Let me see if I can remember what it was, parchment, I think there was a little bit of coconut and just a smidgen of chocolate put into it. And then the top was stamped with Iron Orchid Designs, the wood plank stamp, to get that wood grain look. And me standing here looking at it, I'm not thrilled with it at this point. I think it needs more. It needs some more character. It needs more depth, some more variation to it. To me, it looks like paint stamped onto paint. And that's my opinion. I've got some good compliments so far, but it needs more. And I've come up with a couple of ideas as to what I'm going to do. And like I've said before to people that have asked me questions about how I do things, to me, everything is an experiment. I'm always trying something new. Half the time I don't have a clue as to what I'm doing. I just try things and I keep working it until I get it to look the way I want it to. So that's what I'm doing here. I've usually when I do videos, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I show you guys how to do things, how to wax, how to strip, how to paint, different paint techniques. I've never shown you my process in creating something from my head and transforming something. I've never done this before, so this is a whole new experience for me to show you guys my weird sense of creating. So anyways, I'm not thrilled with the base color. I keep forgetting to bring the candlestick in that I have at home that I'm trying to base this wood color off of. And to me, this has a little bit too much of a pinky undertone to it, and I'm not liking that. I'm not the greatest at mixing colors, so I just keep tweaking until I find find what I want. So this also has one coat of satin varathane over top of it so that I can use glazes and I can play with it and work with it, and it's not just going to stick to the paint. So that is like my slip, I guess you can call it. So what I've done is I was going to mix up some glazes and try and figure out different things to do, but then I looked at the glaze that we already have, the raw umber from the Fat Paint Company, and I thought that might work, but it is fairly opaque, and that's not what I want. I want something that everything is going to sort of show through. So I dumped it into another container and I watered it down. Hopefully when it dries it stays, and when I hit it again with other water products it doesn't re-emulsify. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see what happens. So that's what I've done here. I'm just mixing it up again, and I wasn't sure what brush to use, but while I was setting up, I've decided that I'm going to go, and this one's too big, I'm going to use a foam brush. So this foam brush is too big for this container, so I need to find me another one. So bear with me here for a second, sorry. So this one will fit in the container. So there's one there. It's a little well used. So same with my brushes. I always wet my brush or my foam brush or whatever it is that I'm using. So I'm just gonna get that wet, and then I squish it out. And you can't see me, but I don't want drips all over my piece that I'm working on. So I squish it all out, and then I use some paper towel and give it another little squeeze just so that it's damp. We don't want it to be sopping wet. There we go. And let's see what happens. Dip in here, let it drip off. And I'm going to start at the front so that my belly isn't touching wet stuff. Here. This is a little bit closer to the color that I want, I think. It will change as it dries. And wood is not a consistent color, so let's get this on here. Really wet. Get it in the grooves. And so the other thing that I did is I also mixed up, this is the glaze that I mixed for the legs of the table. I painted the legs of the table and the skirt here in Elefante, and then I created a glaze that is fairly opaque, just with the polyurethane and cast iron. So what I did is I poured some of it out into a smaller container and added some water to it. Now I need to put that into water, and I need a smaller brush. So I'm going to grab one of the small 1-inch brushes. So this here, this size, and I'm just going to wet it a little bit. Squish it out. There we go. And I'm just going to dip into the other glaze. I'm just going to brush it on in spots and work it in with the other glaze. Just to create a little variance in tone in the wood. it enough that it doesn't look like brush strokes. That's where I'm going in while the other one is still wet, so it blends a bit. If it starts to dry up, it's liable to pull it a little bit too much and leave it a little bit too streaky. So I think I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to dry it up. I might do a little bit on the edges here first. Let's go to the front. Go along here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up so you can see what I've done. Get my hands off. So that's it so far. And I need to crawl around on my knees and make sure that where it starts to curl under has the glaze on it. So I'll do that. So once this is dried up, maybe in an hour or so, I'll come back on and we'll see what it looks like, and I'll decide whether or not I want to do some more tweaking, whether maybe I'll just be ready to finish it off and put the polyurethane on it. We will see. I'm thinking I need a little bit more of something, but we'll see once it's dry, see what happens. So yeah, pay attention, watch for another live video later on to see me continue working on this and see how this all turns out. Thanks guys, see you later.